Good morning. It is Saturday morning, and I did end up picking up Vivian from the airport yesterday, and we were able to spend, 4 or 5 hours up at the center at the small building called the studio now, but the small building where we're going to be doing the interviews with the passive members and non-passive members, and also creating the, hopefully, 18 videos that Vivian and I have planned to do. The setup was challenging. We had some windows in the back, multiple windows. We had some windows behind us that caused, some pretty bad reflections. So we ended up having to cover that window, which was unfortunate because it was beautiful out back. There was, a lot of greenery. It would have been a nice background scene, but we had to cover those just because of the lighting and stuff. And then it's really a small area. So to be able to get two people in chairs together with the proper lighting and everything, it was challenging. It took us quite some time. Michael Vogtlander helped us, as well as another person, Harold. I don't know his last name, but he is the person behind the YouTube channel, and I'm sure I'm going to botch the name, but it's something close to What School Wouldn't Teach You, or what things that school wouldn't teach you video. And it's around Billy's material, of course, too. So it was nice to meet him and work with him. And by the way, he's a professional. I mean, he does video editing as a paid profession for a TV station, I think in Austria. I'm not sure, but he was really helpful in setting up the studio, setting up the shots that we're going to be using for the next week, the chairs and the lighting and everything. So everything is probably prepared, hopefully. But we got that accomplished yesterday, and then we ended up having dinner together, Vivian and I, in Vila. In the evening, we had just a small pizza place. We had dinner, and it was great. Nice to finally meet her in person. We'd done a lot of videos together, or collaborated, I should say, together. But we also did a lot of preparation, a lot of pre-preparation, writing our points that we're going to be discussing, and talking about things over Zoom and those types of things. So it was nice to meet her personally for the first time yesterday. So anyway, so for today, Saturday morning, we're going to be having we're going to be going to the passive member meeting. So Vigu has a couple of different membership classes or categories, however you want to say it. So passive membership is one of those. And then today, there's a meeting every year in May, and today that meeting will take place here in Vila at a local school. I'm assuming like an auditorium or that type of thing. So that begins in an hour or so, a couple hours maybe, around 10 a.m. So I'll be going to that, and meeting probably a lot of people from around the world at that meeting. And then there's a small gathering, I think, afterwards. They're going to serve some food, sort of more like a social time, after the meeting. And then I'll have my first interview in the evening with a passive member. So that's sort of what the schedule looks like for today. I will try to shoot some video from that meeting. I got to get permission, which is probably the right thing to do. So some people may say yes, some people may say no, but if I can get some footage or talk to some people, I'm going to certainly try to do that today. So anyway, thank you for following along on the vlog, and we'll see you in the next post. Hi there, welcome back. Well, here to give you an update about the passive member meeting that took place on Saturday. It was a really good time. A lot of people there, a lot of people I knew from the past, and met, of course, a lot of new people. We got to hear some updates, of course. We also got to hear some reports from the different FIGU groups around the world: Japan, Germany, Canada, Italy, Australia. Vivian Legg did hers. She gave the presentation for the Australian group. Czech Republic, Austria, Russia, sorry, this is in German, Mexico, the United States, and and others as well. So that was really good. Also, there was a lecture by Billy. He wasn't there, but he had written a presentation or a lecture, and Bernadette Brand had read it. And it was really neat. It was new information. I mean, we hadn't had any kind of new information for some time. So I have that lecture, and I'm going to make a translation of it and just sort of give you a summary, probably in a later vlog. It's about 8 pages, and there's some new information. Specifically, we hadn't known that there's a distinction between creation energy and creation life energy. And in this new article by Billy, he makes a distinction. So I have that, and I'm just going to do a summary from it. So I'm going to do a quick translation, and sort of a rough translation, and just the highlights, just the major points of that, because it will be released in a booklet, in a small booklet. It'll be released, I don't know, maybe in several weeks or something like that, in German first, of course. But I have a copy of his German, and I'm just going to do a summary. I'm going to do a quick translation and do a summary just to give an idea, right? It's not an official translation or anything like that, but just to keep people up to date, on this vlog, so you can hear the newest and latest information. So we had that. It was a good time on Saturday. I didn't get to take any video, and there's a reason for that. And I figured I'd read that to you. There was a little insert in the program, and I'll just read this one paragraph so you can hear it. It was interesting. I didn't know this, but basically, Swiss law of data protection, DSG, differentiates whether a photo, video, or other recording shows or concerns a certain person or determinable persons, which means that so-called personal data is collected, DSG Article 3A. Recordings which are showing crowds of people, where not an individual person is the main feature of the recording, do not fall under the term personal data. However, based on new technology, individuals may be put into focus by using zoom functions and therefore may later be determinable. That's why it is difficult to make a legal differentiation in practical life. So because of this, there's this Swiss law about personal data collection, and that nowadays with AI and Zoom technology and stuff, if you take a picture of a crowd, a single person can be zoomed in and then falls under this law. So I just decided, I'm in another country, I don't really know the rules, so I didn't take any video at the pastor member meeting, just to be on the safe side, right? I don't want to end up in jail, or who knows, or in legal rumblings or something. So I didn't take any video. But it was a good meeting. It's worthwhile attending. We had new information from Billy, and we got to, of course, hear all the updates from the different groups around the world. So it was nice. On Sunday, Vivi and I did host our social event at the center. There's some covered tables. If any of you have been there, there's some covered tables down by Billy's house. The orange tables. It's a covered area, and we had invited 14 people, or 14 people said they were interested in coming, and there was actually more than that. So I think some of the passive members that were there or working, some of the workers may have just sort of spilled over. So there was a good number of people there. And we ended up, Vivian and I went ahead of time to just the local market, and actually Vivian purchased all the food, the meat and the bread and all the and drinks and all those kinds of things. So we had brought that down. And what we did that day, it was a little bit rainy, but it was a little bit nicer later in the day, so it wasn't too bad weather-wise. Still cold, it's May here, and we're high up in the mountains. But the gathering was good. We got together about 11 o'clock, and then we had some just social time. We just sort of all got together and chatted and talked and got meeting, that kind of thing. Then we got some lunch. We put the lunch out, and everybody had a little bit to eat, and continued the social time. And then after that, we all sat down and had a little Q&A session. It had started out, Vivian and I were just going to do some question and answer, which we did do a few, but there were also very knowledgeable people there, other very knowledgeable people that also, answered questions and, gave different perspectives. So there was sort of a back and forth discussing, spiritual topics, the teachings of the truth, teachings of the creation energy, teaching of life, all in that realm. So it was really wonderful to hear all the different ideas and things, and had that discussion. So that was about an hour and a half or so. Yeah, about an hour. I think we started about 12:30, and we ended at about 2. So it was good. It was a nice event, and Vivian and I both felt it turned out well, and we're happy we did it, and we're hoping that some new connections and new friendships were made because of that. So yeah, that went well. The pics that you're seeing on the screen from the event, these are pictures from our social event, were taken by Remington Robinson. So here's a picture of Remington. I asked to take a picture of him just to show him and say thank you for the picture. So thank you, Remington, for sharing all the photos you took during the social event, so everybody can see him on the blog. It was really nice. So anyway, that's what took place at the passive member meeting, and the reason why I couldn't take any videos. And then on Sunday, we had our social event. And then, of course, after the social event that ended at 2, I ended up interviewing 4 passive members. So on Sunday, I interviewed Patrick Parker. He is from Switzerland, a French speaker. Kazuhiro Osawa from Japan. He actually answered his questions in Japanese, so we'll be translating those for subtitles and things like that. And then also Liliana Malo and Nathaniel Malo. They're both from the Arizona study group in the United States. So they both sat down for an interview. So it was wonderful. So those 4 we got done Sunday night. And that sort of brings everybody up to speed. And look forward to seeing you all again on the next post. See you later. Welcome back to my personal vlog. Today is Monday. I don't know the date, but it's Monday. It's the Monday after the passive meeting and the social event. And today it rained most of the day. So that's probably why Switzerland was so green. It was just a really rainy day. So raincoats and all those types of things. Today, I was able to work all day in this little building and interview 6 passive members. So today was a very productive day. I interviewed people from 8:30 in the morning till just a little while ago, till 8:30 or 9 at night. So it was a long day for sure. So today, I was able to interview Norman Beatty, Remington Robinson, Berta Voss, Trey Musola, Grace Chan, and Sachin Baguette. So there was 6 total. They all did very well. I think once I get back to the States and back into the routine, I'll start editing all these. You're really going to like the videos that come from these interviews, I can assure you. There was a whole range of answers, on teaching of the truth, teaching of the creation energy, teaching of life. So I really think you're really going to like the content on these. All these people did a wonderful job. I was so appreciative for them to take out, a couple hours out of their day. Well, many of them studied. Many of them had notes and had prepared, and it really worked out well. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a long day. I'm tired, but at the end of the day, the content that we're all going to be able to enjoy on the Billy Byron Books channel I think it'll be really, really well worthwhile. The other thing that was sort of special for me is we had planned this ahead of time, but some of you may know Mark Giuliano. So Mark Giuliano and I go way back to the early 90s and mid 90s. We were in Los Angeles study groups, the California study groups together, and we went on to form the Los Angeles study group, and we also did Steelmark. So Mark and Jason and I formed Steelmark together, and published some of Billy's books as well. So Mark and his girlfriend Christine showed up. So we had planned this. So I hadn't seen Mark in 20 years. So we don't know how long. We were talking about it. It was probably between 15 and 20 years that we hadn't seen each other. So he was taking a vacation and some time in Switzerland, and of course set a couple of days aside to help with the video recording. So a couple of significant events for this. So for us, so I'm just sort of sharing my personal experience. So Mark and I came in 1995 and interviewed Billy and Guido, with cameras and all and Jason was with us too. Of course, Jason's passed on, but Mark and I did that in May of 1995. So it's May of 2025. So that was 30 years ago to the month. So that was really special for us. And to be able to reconnect with Mark, and Mark did all the camera work today for the interviews. Turning them on, turning them off, making sure they're all framed, shooting some candids, for this vlog. He really helped out a lot. So it was really nice to reconnect with him, and I will see him again tomorrow. He's also going to help Vivian and I start our series, our discussion series tomorrow. And Mark's going to be doing all the camera work for that. So that was really nice. It was really special for me to reconnect with him and, do figure work again. So anyway, that was sort of a summary of today, Monday. And I'll certainly keep you guys up to date. I think I mentioned in the last posting, I will be doing a summary of Billy's lecture. He didn't give the lecture, but it was read by Bernadette. Which is new information, and none of us know. It was all brand new to everybody at the meeting. So I will be doing that probably in the next couple of days. Also, I know I have some questions from the last round, probably 6 or 7. So I will probably do a question and answer vlog probably tomorrow. I'll do that, and then probably the day after, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, I will do a rough translations of Billy's stuff and sort of just give you an update on what the new information is. So that's sort of where we're at. Thank you for following along. Thank you for being a subscriber to the Billy Meier Books YouTube channel, and we'll see you in the next post.